Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everybody. It is Monday, April 6th, and you know what that means. It's time for the High Risk Wrestling Recap. I am your host, Jeremy Pierce. Check out the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and of course the 215 on Twitter. And without further ado, let's get into the news. Dani Luna has requested her release, and she was granted it. Some previous visa issues held things up, but TNA really did have big plans for her. This was reported by Sean Ross Sapp and Corey Brennan. We will see where she goes next. That injury and that visa issue really hampered plans for her. Where she shifts her focus, but Dani Luna is now a free agent. Lady Frost, after her AEW deal ended, her contract was not renewed. She immediately signed with MLW. This was a major gift for MLW. Lady Frost is a tremendous talent, and it might be time for a big spotlight to be shown on her. Willie Mack, his AEW status has been updated. There were some things about him, possibly being released or his contract not being renewed. He has been switched to a pay per deal. He's now, so he's not a consistent member of the roster, so he's paid to come in, etc., etc. Chris Jericho made his long way to return to AEW, not the WWE, which shocked a lot of people. There were hints, obviously, on WWE TV about Chris Jericho making his return, but he came to AEW mainly because he still wants to wrestle. He still wants to contribute, and the WWE only wanted to bring him in for a retirement tour and to end his career. And obviously, he is not about that life, so he's back in AEW. A lot has gone down over the last week or so with Janelle Grant. New allegations came up about the things that happened with her, Brock Lesnar, Vince McMahon. And this lawsuit is not going away. It's a lot to cover, and I implore you all to go check out the news and see the things that she said that's been alleged, and the NDA she had to sign. This is not going anywhere anytime soon. And some other shocking news: John Cena is the new host of WrestleMania this year. It's just so soon after his retirement, and he's obviously hosting because the WWE cannot sell tickets for WrestleMania. They are obviously too damn expensive. They won't even give out comp tickets at the moment. So now they thought bringing in John Cena will help the ticket sales, and we shall see how they're going to. Once again, they're going to lie about the attendance for the show. Valentina Rossi has signed a WWE ID contract. She has been a nice talent on the independent scene. She's been featured in AEW, NWA, JCW, and Ring of Honor. She's fought in a lot of top stars like Riho and Jade Cargill, Penelope Ford, and Harley Cameron, and we shall see where she goes from here. I expect her to be in NXT pretty soon. Thunder Rosa will be the newest AEW talent to be signing a dual contract with CMLL. These are really good. She will be joining the likes of Hachicero, Persephone, Claudio, Mascara Dorada, Mystico. They all now have deals with AEW and CMLL. There will be no Slammies this year, which sucks. The Slammies should be an annual thing, and the WWE just chooses not to do them. Instead of doing them at the end of the year, you go from WrestleMania to WrestleMania. And some really just dumb news. If you saw SmackDown, the mystery man of who was on the phone with Randy Orton was revealed to be Pat McAfee, who made his return to WWE, turned heel. And we'll talk about it more in this recap for SmackDown. But this was not a decision made by Triple H. A lot of people think Triple H has power. Now, this was made by the heads of TKO and Ari Emanuel, who's even above Nick Khan. This is for synergy with ESPN. As you know, ESPN is a partner of the WWE, but this is just really dumb. You've pretty much ruined a storyline going into WrestleMania. This is the third year in a row where Cody's kind of getting the shaft, and fans are not happy about any of this. Ring of Honor will be moving to a new time starting this week. Instead of airing at 7 o'clock, they'll be airing at 8 o'clock on Thursdays, starting the 9th, and they will continue to air on Honor Club but it'll be shifting to 1 hour because they have those tapings that happens now. APAC promoter says Mercedes Monet's travel story isn't accurate and claims he has the proof. She says they can come to a deal or work out a budget to get her over there so she can drop the title to Nora Phoenix, and he is disputing that, saying no. He's got a number of respect for her. Mercedes, she's a global star, but the public narrative needs to change. NWA Power has landed a new TV deal. They will be airing on Sinclair Broadcasting. As you know, Sinclair used to air Ring of Honor. Sinclair owns the CW, and CW is where NXT airs. Possibly they'll be airing on Fight TV as well. We shall see how all of that goes. On the injury side of things, Braun Breaker has been cleared for a return after his successful surgery, but it looks like he will not be having a match at WrestleMania. Queen Aminata has also been given the go-ahead. She has been cleared, and she will obviously be taking on Willow Nightingale for the TBS Championship. Elio LaFleur had to vacate the Men's Speed Championship due to injury. He will be out for a good minute. We don't know what an injury it is, but it's enough that he had to relinquish the title. He will be out for at least 6 months. Tyson DuPont underwent hip surgery after being in pain for many months. That's just how it is. Go get that surgery done. Mark Quinn is snake bitten. He is out with an injury. It was revealed on Collision by his tag team partner Isaiah Cassidy. Private Party just came back, and then Mark Quinn is out again. Kyle Fletcher is also out with an injury. We do not know how long he'll be out, but it's going to be for a minute, and he might even have to relinquish the TNT Championship. This injury is very legitimate and is not a storyline injury. Looks like he suffered a lower body injury after an awkward landing in that tag match on Collision about a week ago. So we shall see where they go with that. And Nikki Bella is undergoing rehab after her ankle injury that happened on SmackDown. We'll see about that, how that pictures into WrestleMania. But that is the news, and we should be right back with the Week in Review. All right, let's get into the Week in Review. We start off with Monday Night Raw, and this show gets a fist. CM Punk finally gets the upper hand on Roman Reigns. So we open up with Cody, who's interrupted by Stephanie, and she tells Cody that you're not your father. You can't handle this Randy Orton. This Randy Orton is a menace. He's a terror, and he would do whatever it needs to win. She then slapped Cody after he said that she's not her father, which whatever. This was just a stupid segment. WrestleMania's gonna suck so hard. We were backstage. Celebrities. Astro Speed begged Danhausen to remove his curse, and Danhausen demanded an absurd payment. LA Knight arrived because he's a special guest commentator for the tag title match, which we go right into with the street fight. Usos with the tag titles on the line against the Vision team of Logan Paul and Austin Theory. And this is a fine match. It was whatever. Astro Speed accidentally pushed LA Knight in with the Nux, causing chaos, allowing the Usos to hit stereo kicks, but it ended up failing, and we have new tag team champions in the Vision. That sucked. We go in the ring with Liv, Stephanie Vaquer. Liv called out Vaquer, who came out, and they brought immediately until Roxanne Perez made a return, attacked Stephanie from behind. This was fine, whatever. Then we're backstage with the Vision again. In Astro Speed, he didn't want to be there, and Logan wants Speed. He now has real enemies. Paul Heyman told them they're in good hands, and they probably said the Usos are going to kill you, Astro Speed. Adam Prince X Heyman if you read his emails, but whatever. Next match was the Women's Tag Team Championship on the line as the Irresistible Forces put the titles on the line against Lyra and Bayley. Apparently this was the first women's tag team title match since 1987 the first women's tag team title match at Madison Square Garden since 1987. This was good. These are probably the best opponents that that Lash and Nia have faced. Bayley and Lyra gave a good clash of styles. It was a solid match, and of course it ended in a no contest as Charlotte and Alexa Bliss entered the ring and attacked, and the Bellas attacked, and whatever. We just give us the multi-man match, and it probably won't even be a ladder match because the IC titles when we get the ladder match spot at WrestleMania. Then we got to what everybody really, really wants: Heyman, Lesnar. Heyman says Brock was caught off guard, and they called out Oba Femi, and Adam Pearce was like, nah, I gotta save my WrestleMania match. And Oba came out, he was like, no. Tossed security aside, he stalked Brock, circled the ring, and as they got face to face, Triple H came out to separate them. Brock ended up F5 and the security guard on his way out. When they fight again, it's going to be good. A video package of Finn Balor vowing to destroy Dom at WrestleMania. Then we had Penta put the IC title on the line against Kofi Kingston. Ultimately, Penta retained the championship after hitting the Mexican Destroyer. Penta then announced that he will face all comers at WrestleMania, so that's where we get the said ladder match. Funny thing is, WWE actually accidentally spoiled the participants of this match, but they were supposed to have qualifying matches on main events. So it will be Penta defending against, off the top of my head, it's Rusev, Javon Evans, JD McDonough, and I believe Dragon Lee. Then we were backstage again. Adam Pearce wants to know where Lesnar is, and Lesnar's like, Heyman said, yo, he's out of here. Heyman then went to the ring and mocked everybody, including Seth Rollins, and Seth attacked Paul with a chair until Gunther ambushed Seth and put him to sleep. Very, very random. Don't know why we have this. This was just dumb. EO took on Raquel Rodriguez, but Raquel got the W after interference from Kairi Sane and Asuka. And we ended with Roman Reigns and CM Punk. Reigns came out and he demanded to be acknowledged. Punk marched out, immediately brawled with Roman. They fought to the ringside, and Punk did a GTS and then power bombed Roman Reigns after he accidentally speared Petey Williams through the announce desk. Fine, we've seen it all at this point. Over on Dynamite, this show gets a fist. The Cornerstone made his return. So the show opened up with Tony Schiavone in the ring. He's about to introduce, the contract signing between MJF and Kenny Omega until Chris Jericho made his return. We were in Winnipeg and Jericho came out. That's about it. Said, I'm back, I'm home, and left. It wasn't even like a super, super major pop, so we'll see how it goes this week on Dynamite. Then we went backstage. Ospreay had blindsided Moxley with an attack, and he's coming for blood. Then we finally get to the contract signing between MJF and Kenny Omega. Omega immediately signed and cut off MJF because MJF was going to talk, and Omega said, fans come to see the best wrestler, not MJF. MJF may be the devil, but I've never called myself the god of professional wrestling. Other people have, so I guess it'll be the god versus the devil, MJF. And then mocked Omega's age and his diverticulitis and Canadian fans, and they were about to get into it until Speedball made the save, and he wound up facing Max later in the evening. Our first match of the evening was The Man in a 6-man tag match against Brody King, Jack Perry, and Kenny Omega. This was a solid fun affair. The Faces won. This is a really, really fun match. I don't think it's over because I can see Kenny transitioning into a feud with Ricochet. Then Willow was here. Willow Nightingale, love of my life. She said she's the face of TBS, maybe TNT next. She wants to wrestle the very best and set up an open challenge for Collision. We were backstage with Cope and Cage, who were ready to attack, looking for FTR. Christian almost hit Renee, and Cope was like, "Yo, she's not the enemy." They ended up actually attacking Trent Beretta and Rocky Romero. So I'm guessing a tag team match will probably be going down this Wednesday on Dynamite. Then we were backstage with Pac and Ospreay. As Pac ambushed Ospreay before the match. He had a brainbuster on the ramp. Medics were checking on Ospreay about his neck, which led directly into the match, and Pac kept attacking Ospreay. So a really solid match. It wasn't as quick as their usual matches, but more brutal. Ultimately, Ospreay got the win with a sudden pin. I would have preferred Pac winning. I don't like when they put Pac in this position. Pac should have won this match. He did all the damage early on. He should have won this match. After the match, the rest of the Death Riders came out and took Ospreay down. No one came to save Ospreay or help him out, and they almost Pillmanized him. Mox said, "Use your head, and you might lose it permanently." He's right. Then we went into the Brawling Birds taking on. So the Brawling Birds and Mina Shirakawa taking on the Triangle of Madness. This was a solid match, but the Triangle of Madness lost. This is their first loss as a trios team, as the Brawling Birds and Mina Shirakawa got the W. Jamie Hayter won the match with the Haterade, as Thekla tried using the brass knuckles. We got highlights of Ciampa getting into an Ace and Juice of the Bang Bang Gang. So I think it was announced that Colton Gunn is coming back, or he's cleared, so we'll see about that. Then we were in the ring. So Darby said he hasn't seen Gaia, so he wants to see the devil again. That's funny. He accused MJF of working with the Don Callis family out of fear until the Callis arrived with Andrade, Lance Archer, Hatshawa, and El Clone, saying that MJF had a message, and Callis announced that if Darby beats a hand-picked Callis family member at Dynasty, he gets a title shot, and the opponent is none other than Andrade, which Andrade's not happy about. Callis ordered the others to attack until Darby fought back with his skateboard. Brody King and Jack Perry made the save, and we'll get more into this trio on Collision. Kenny made the save afterwards in the main event. It was weird. Dynamite only had 4 matches, but that's because they were taping Collision right afterwards. It was Speedball versus MJF, solid affair, but ultimately everything Speedball did hit and landed, but MJF was too much for him, as MJF won with a tombstone, then hit the Heat Seeker to get the W. He ended up attacking Speedball after the match until Kenny Omega made the save. Over on Impact, this was the Sacrifice Fallout show. So we started in the ring. Santana announced he would be facing Eddie Edwards at Rebellion, and Eddie and Cedric of the System interrupted. Cedric challenged Leon Slater. Then Order 4 came out and Moose came out. It was a whole thing. Everybody started brawling, so we ended up getting a tag team match. So it was Santana, Moose, Trey Miguel, Leon Slater taking on Mustafa Ali, Eddie Edwards, Cedric Alexander, and Agent Zero. The bad guys won here after Eddie hit Santana with the Boston Knee Party for the pin. This broke down really quickly. Santino was with Daria Ray, and they agreed that the winner of the Zaya Brookside Ariana Grace match would face Lei Yingli at Rebellion. And Eric Young, we got clips of him confronting Ricky Sosa. The Hardys were in the ring, and they expected the Righteous to betray them, and I think we're about to be broken once again. Jeff said the Righteous made a mistake, and the Righteous appeared. Vincent said they removed what stood in the way. Dutch said the Hardys are the offering, and Matt challenged them. Dutch requested if it will be Hardy style Extreme, and Jeff made it official tag team titles tables match next week. Jody Threat and Sasha Blanca were soon heading to the ring with Victoria Crawford, until Mysterious Bunny figure appeared watching. Tessa Blanchard, Ariana Grace was with Stax, and she mocked Santana, and Santana, they don't even work here. Jody Threat took on Tessa Blanchard in the first ever bunkhouse match for the women in TNA. This was a fun match, one of my favorite matches of the evening, of the week actually. Ultimately, Tessa won after she choked out Jody Threat with the bell. Ryan Nemeth vowed to find out who attacked his brother. He ran into BDE and Frank Kazarian before Elijah stepped in. Tessa ended up following that mysterious bunny. Are they going to take Tessa Blanchard to hell to get the bunny out of the Undead Realm? We'll see. The hometown man took on AJ Francis, but AJ Francis ultimately won the match after he hit a spear and then dropped him with the down payment. AJ revealed that he attacked Nick Nemeth. Well, there you go, and mocked his show-stealer nickname. Ryan charged out. AJ threatened to leave leave him without a post, and he challenged Nick Nemeth to a match at Rebellion. Lei Yingli and Zaya Brooks died. Lei encouraged Zaya and showed her a clip of her father's message. Main event match was Ariana Grace versus Xia Brookside. This was for the Knockouts Championship. Xia controlled a lot of this match. Stacks repeatedly got involved, pulling Xia off. The covering lay tried to help, but was thrown down. Grace threw Lee into the steps. Xia fell back, DDT on Stacks. She nearly pinned Grace, but Grace used a distraction to rig Xia's eyes and hit her with the title belt, ultimately retaining the championship. After the match, they corner Lee until Mike Santana made the save. He dropped Stacks with a spin to block. Eddie Edwards appeared in the crowd, taunting Santana, and Santana changed Lee to a fight. Eddie refused but vowed to beat him at Rebellion. And we end the show with Tessa wandering through a dark room following the bunny. The Sinister Minister appeared on a sofa and welcomed her to the Undid Realm. And the show ended there. Okay. Over on Collision, is actually aired on Thursday. We're back to your regular normal Collision program. Stars, but nothing of note truly happening. Jon Moxley took on Anthony Bowens in a Continental Championship Eliminator. This stemmed from Anthony Bowens trying to prove himself that he should be a member of the Ops. Solid match, but Moxley ultimately countered into the Bulldog choke and hit the paradigm shift for the win. After the match, Ospreay came out and immediately attacked Mox, dropped him with the hidden blade, and challenged him to put the title on the line as well. So the match was already official, but now at Dynasty, it will be for the Continental Championship. Okada was backstage, told Mark Davis that they get revenge on the wrestlers for injuring Kyle Fletcher. Okada said Andrade is a better partner than Takeshita. He keeps throwing shots at Takeshita. The Divine Dominion took on Ava Lawless and Chris Starra. Easy match, simple match. Divine Dominion got the win with the double chokeslam. Mox said he wasn't surprised Ospreay attacked him, but doubted Ospreay's 100% and promised no mercy with the title on the line. Then we got a message from the Hurt Syndicate. They are all cleared, they are all ready to go, and they are looking to recruit new talent for the Hurt Syndicate. They want to make sure they find someone that likes hurting people. Willow Nightingale's open challenge was answered by the former three-time women's world champion Hikaru Shida. Made her long way to return. Willow was always going to win this match. She won with the roll-up, catching Shida off guard, used the backslide on her. Willow looked great. Shida needs to work off the ring rust, but it was really solid match. After the match, Shida teased hitting Willow with the kendo stick. So let's see where this goes. Next match was FTR taking on London Lightning and Mo Jabari. Easy match, simple match. Security surrounded the ring for FTR, and they easily won the match with the Shatter Machine. Christian Cage arrived with the chair. Cope followed, and they tore through security and brawled with FTR. Christian hit a low blow on Dax, and Copeland hit the Impaler. Stokely stole the chair to stop a concerto on Cash, and Copeland and Christian destroyed the remaining security. We were backstage with Jamie, Alex Windsor, and Mina Shirakawa. And the Birds were like, yo, we'll fight anyone, singles, tag, trio. Hayter said Thekla has a big mouth and challenger for the title. At Dynasty, Mina encouraged Hayter to beat the piss out of her. And yes, the title will be on the line. It is official. Jamie Hayter versus Thekla for the Women's Championship at Dynasty. And on the pre-show, Alex Windsor will be taking on, I want to say Mina Shakira. It's not Mina Shakira. Marina Shafir. Juice Robinson took on Tommaso Ciampa in a solid affair. A nice little back and forth match. Ciampa dominated pretty much like the strong middle part of the match, but he ultimately won, hitting the Widow's Bell and then dropped Juice with the exposed knees. But I don't think it's done between these two men. Then we were backstage with a weird trio of Darby, Brody, and Jack Perry, and they all have history with each other. Darby said he must beat Andrade during the title shot, and Brody and Jack Perry approach. Perry repeatedly reminded Darby that you set me on fire, and Brody was like, yo, I've tried choking you out and killing you multiple times, Darby. This is weird, but they will team up because they hate the Don Callis family, and this match will be going down on Dynamite. The Don Callis family members Andrade and Mark Davis took on the Rascals, team of Zach Wentz and Desmond Xavier. This was a really solid match. I wish it would have went a little bit longer. The Don Callis family won. The Rascals ended up getting beat down after the match until Myron Reed made the save and took all the members that were for the family out. I like how we're using the Don Callis family, and now we've got the Rascals in this picture. I absolutely love it. Our main event match was a very random tornado tag match as the Dogs, David Finley and Clark Connors teamed up with Claudio and Danny Garcia to take on the Conglomeration members Roderick Strong, Orange Cassidy, Awesome Mystico, and Kevin Knight. It's such a random match, and this is normal for Collision. It was a fun match. It was great, but like, what was the point here? The good guys won in a solid match, and Speedball ended up celebrating with the teams after the match. It was weird. Whatever. Over on SmackDown, this show gets 2 thumbs down. This was a bad show. I can't even remember the last time I gave a show 2 thumbs down. Funny thing is, it was probably SmackDown or Raw. We were in the ring. Cody, we were in St. Louis. Cody got a great hometown pop. He mocked Cody's what do you want to talk about? And Cody stormed the ring. He was like ready to fight, and they were brawling until Pat McAfee showed up and kicked Cody low. And he cut a promo blaming Cody for killing the business and praising Orton and a whole bunch of stuff. This was an off-the-cuff promo, and he was revealed to be the man that Randy was on the phone with. Orton ended up brutalizing Cody with a chair, and they left together. Weird, absolutely weird. Orton and McAfee left in a white truck declaring mission accomplished. I don't get it. I don't get it. Rhea Ripley took on Michin, and this went 10 minutes. Michin actually got some work, and Rhea dominated early. Michin rallied, but she had to eat defeat, and it did not work until Rhea powered back, dropped her with the Razor's Edge, running knee, prism trap with a submission. 1, 2, 3. Well, not 1, 2, 3 submission. Michin tapped out. B-Fab attacked, but Rhea fought her off, and then Jay set her up for the Jada until Io Sky made the save. So now I'm expecting, I think on Raw tonight, Rhea and Io versus Michin and B-Fab. Okay, I think that's going down tonight. So Lena Vega and Aleister Black mocked Matt Cardona for ignoring their warnings, and Cardona said he'd fight tonight. And so Black said, all right, we'll do it. Solo questioned Tama Tonga for having this lantern. We don't need the lantern. Thomas said it was tearing them apart and they needed to refocus on taking over SmackDown. Solo agreed and said after they finish the Wyatts and they can get back to business. Rhea thanked Io for the assist, and Io said they're friends and they got each other's back. Tama Tonga took on Uncle Howdy. Uncle Howdy got the W with the sister Abigail. It's fine. I'm hoping this feud is done. Solo tried to explain, but Thomas snapped and said the lantern are the cause of all of our problems right now. He just gave it back to Uncle Howdy, and Solo was frustrated, and I guess just how the feud is done. We're also pushing Tama Tonga. All right. Kit feared Danhausen's curse, and Miz dismissed it. They found Truth playing a new Judgment Day clubhouse. Truth challenged them with the tag team titles on the line. We got video package for both Jacob and Drew. No rules, unsanctioned. They're gonna hurt each other. Then we got another celebrity. Lil Yachty is with Trick Williams. They use Zayn's pyro because Zayn's supposed to have the celebration for winning the U.S. title. Trick claims Zayn only has the title because of him, which is true. Carmelo interrupted, demanded a rematch, and said he carried SmackDown for months. Zayn initially refused and granted Hayes a rematch for tonight. Trick kept trash talking Sammy until Sammy dropped him outside of the ring. Aleister Black easily went on to defeat Matt Cardona, dropping him with the black mask. Cardona tried rallying. It was almost there, but Zelina caused the distraction. Bailey said, the loss and WrestleMania last year and missing WrestleMania hurt. And now they got to get into it with Charlotte and Alexa, who are just surface level friends. Gargano hyped his NXT North American title match. And Priest asked Truth why he give Miz and Kid a title shot. Truth blamed Asuka's curse. Lord, confusing. He's confusing Danhausen for Asuka, and Priest warned him that something bad was coming. Bayley and Lyra took on Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, and this match actually ended with a clean finish as Charlotte and Alexa defeated Bayley and Lyra. After the match, the Irresistible Forces dropped everybody, and they were once again the only two women standing. Backstage, Miz said there was no curse, and Danhausen offered to uncurse them. Miz refused, and then Danhausen just disappeared. Tag titles were on the line. Priest and Truth put the titles on the line against the Miz and Kit Wilson. This was a fun, hilarious match. Danhausen appeared, wanted to be tagged in. He's not part of the match. Truth tagged him in. Miz hit the skull crusher. Well, Miz was about to get cursed until he put the ref in front of him. He hit the skull crusher finale, and then the ref got a cramp. Priest hit the South of Heaven, and they retained the titles. I guess curses are real. Cody Rhodes immediately stormed the ring, dropped Kit Wilson with the Crossroads, cut an unhinged, unsanctioned promo comparing the reveal of Pat McAfee to that of Disco Inferno, calling Pat McAfee a stoner, grifter, and Logan Paul without muscles. It's not good. It's not good. Our main event was Smello taking on Sami Zayn, U.S. title on the line. This was fine. This was good. The ref was checking on Carmelo Hayes' knee after a frog splash, and Zayn took advantage of that, hitting the haluva kick to retain the championship. So Lil Yachty's going to WrestleMania, and Carmelo Hayes isn't. Yachty and Trick beat up Sammy after the matches. This was a bad SmackDown. This was really bad. Our matches of the week from NXT. Even though this match ended in a no contest, Kendal Gray versus Lola Vice. From Dynamite, Will Ospreay versus Pac, because you know Will Ospreay and Pac are incapable of having bad matches. From Stand and Deliver, Lola Vice versus Kendal Gray and Jacy Jayne for the NXT Women's Championship. Also Tatum Paxley versus Blake Monroe for the North American Championship. That was probably my favorite match out of the show. Probably. And from New Japan, Sakura Genesis, two great matches. The Knockout Bros versus TMDK with the IWGP World Tag Team titles on the line, and Callum Newman versus Yota Tsuji for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Go check out both of those matches, ladies and gentlemen. Our stars of the week, Lola Vice and Callum Newman. With that as our show, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening, thank you for watching. Look on the screen what we got coming up. You know, you can check out the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and of course the 215 on Twitter. I'll see you when I see you. Peace.